You've been scammed by a trash can. Quietly, cheerfully, about once every 3 winters for your whole adult life. Because they don't really sell you a can anymore. They sell you a subscription. A cheap plastic thing engineered to crack right about the time the receipt fades. It's the same trick right to repair as fighting in phones and tractors, except nobody's marching for their garbage can. So I went hunting for the opposite. One American-made metal can. Tough enough that you buy it once and your kid inherits it. Should have taken an afternoon. It took weeks because the company whose name literally means trash can, Rubbermaid, bailed on its own Ohio hometown in 2003, dumped 850 jobs, and drove to Atlanta. And when I tracked down who's still bending garbage cans out of American steel, I didn't find 10 companies. I didn't find 5. I found 2. Everybody else went plastic, went overseas, or just went. Let me show you what's left, starting with the ghost. If you're American and over 30, Rubbermaid is a reflex, the word your mom used for anything with a snap-on lid. And for 80-plus years, that word meant one place, Wooster, Ohio. Rubbermaid was founded there in 1920 and became the beating heart of the town, the big plant, the headquarters, the paychecks. Then came Newell. In 1999, the conglomerate bought Rubbermaid for around $6 billion and stitched its name onto the front door. A new CEO, Joseph Galley, started restructuring. The word companies use right before your town gets smaller. He called Wooster a very high-cost operation. That's corporate for we've already decided. Now, I have to be straight with you, because the internet usually isn't. It wasn't one clean villain moment. In February 2003, Newell Rubbermaid moved its corporate headquarters to Atlanta. That November, a tornado did about $20 million in damage to the complex. And that December, the company announced the plant would close, 850 production jobs gone, 409 office jobs scattered. They blamed the storm as one of a number of factors, then admitted the real ones. Too much overhead, plans to outsource production, less dependence on plastic resin. The tornado didn't kill Wooster. It just gave everybody a tidy date for the tombstone. 83 years in one town, ended by a press release from Atlanta. So I went looking for who didn't leave. The first door is in Winona, Minnesota, a port town on the Mississippi. The company is Behrens, and it's been making metal containers there since 1911, stamping steel back when the Titanic was still a drawing. A German immigrant named Henry Behrens started it making containers for local dairy farms. Milk was the app, steel was the platform. More than a century later, they never pivoted away from what they were good at. Behrens still turns out galvanized garbage cans, pails, buckets, tubs, watering cans, the whole hardware store back wall, right there in Winona, with something like 60% of the branded metal container market. They call themselves the #1 steel container maker in America, and when you've outlasted almost everyone, you get to say that. Here's a twist. Behrens is actually owned by a private equity firm. Mill City Capital bought it in 2016. Normally, that's where these stories go sideways. But this is the rare version where the new owners kept the plant in Winona and the steel American. Same playbook as Newell on paper, opposite ending. The product itself is a galvanized can in the old sense, Steel coated in zinc so it shrugs off rust for decades. It's not trying to be cute. It's trying to be there in 20 years, which is a radical business model now. One survivor down, but there's a second door, 400 miles southeast. That door's in Cincinnati, right back in Ohio, the same state that lost Rubbermaid. The company is Witt, and it's even older. It traces to 1887, when George Witt started a roofing and cornice shop on the Ohio River. By 1899, he'd patented a corrugated ash can. More than 125 years later, that little shop is a waste and recycling manufacturer that never left town. And here's the line that made me respect them. Witt makes most of its cans right there in Cincinnati out of 100% American steel. Not designed in America. Not assembled from imported parts. American steel, American plant, which under the FTC's all or virtually all made in USA rule is the bar everyone else is limboing under. One honest asterisk, because a metal nerd will bring it up. A lot of Witt's cans are Galvanneal, rather than the classic shiny galvanized you get from Behrens. It's a zinc iron alloy, actually harder and more scratch resistant, and it takes paint better. If you want the dimpled silver finish, Behrens is your poster child. But if the test is American company, American steel, still standing after a century, Witt passes clean. Now it's a trash can, who cares? Fair. Here's the case for caring. Walk into any big box store and the wall is plastic. $12, wheels, a lid that never quite closes. Great for about 3 winters. Then the cold makes it brittle, the hinge snaps, the wheel cracks, and you're back in the same aisle buying the same can. A fantastic business for everyone except you. The buy it for life crowd, almost 4 million of them on one subreddit, built a whole community around dodging exactly this trap. For trash cans, the fix was always simple. Buy the metal one. A galvanized steel can doesn't play that game. It dents instead of shattering. It doesn't go chalky in the sun. People hand these down. There are Behrens and Witt cans older than the person taking out the trash. That's the whole argument for buying it once. The expensive can is the one you replace every 4 years. And that's Wooster in miniature. The industry didn't decide Americans wanted worse trash cans. It decided worse cans were more profitable. Cheaper resin, cheaper labor. A customer who comes back every winter. Behrens and Witt just didn't take the deal. So that's where my dumb little question landed. The company that owned the word trash can left Ohio for Atlanta and took 850 jobs with it. And the 2 names still bending cans from American steel are a 1911 shop in Winona and an 1887 shop in Cincinnati. One of them in the same state Rubbermaid abandoned, quietly doing the thing everyone else quit. 2 doors, both still open, both still made here. If you've got one of these old steel cans in your garage, check the bottom for the stamp and tell me in the comments, Behrens, Witt, or some ghost brand that didn't make it. And if you want more of these, the American thing that almost died, and the stubborn people who kept it alive, you know what the subscribe button's for.